Here are some examples of "we can" remarks. Jack asks if we can take him out to McDonald's. We respond with, "We can do that once we hit the 1-month mark." Jack says he wants some bacon. We respond with, "We can make a slice of turkey bacon." Jack asks for help when we're in the middle of something. We respond with something like, "I can help you once I'm done giving meds." A "we can" statement, which at times may be an "I can" statement, may need to be repeated more softly in a very friendly tone of voice. It depends on Jack's reaction. It may be the case that he's too sensitive to disappointment for this type of careful phrasing to make any difference at all. In the rule about asking questions, I hope we all recall we had can I, and can we. Right here we have we can and I can. It's only 3 words in 4 combinations. Can I, can we can, I can. What we're doing is avoiding the word you. So remembering the 3 conditions, disappointment, upset, and overprompted, let's move on to upset, number 2. Jack can show agitation and upset. To avoid provoking him, we use statements of fact. Remember I said prior, if Jack thinks for 1 second that he has messed up, then his whole world falls apart. Why? Because he thinks he's no good, and when he feels like a failure, he'll self-injure or destroy property or become verbally abusive. Assess what he tolerates. Be careful with your tone of voice. Statements of fact are neutral. If done right, they aren't going to push anyone's buttons. Are there particular situations when we want to use statements of fact? Yes. We use them when it's possible that some sort of wrongdoing has occurred, maybe even by Jack. Examples of statements of fact are, the hamburger buns that were in here yesterday are gone. There's a bunch of food wrappers on the floor. The remote control is absent from the living room. That MP3 player is broken. Statements of fact rely on what is. Of course, in the situations I just described, what would pop into our heads to say is, who took the hamburger buns? If you left food wrappers on the living room floor, please throw them away. Who has the remote control? Did you break your MP3 player? We instead say, the hamburger buns that were in here yesterday are gone, as a statement of fact, because saying, who took the hamburger buns, is looking to identify or blame someone. We say, there's a bunch of food wrappers on the floor as a statement of fact, because saying, if you left food wrappers on the living room floor, please throw them away, is looking to identify or blame someone, as well as to give that person some direction. We say, the remote control is absent from the living room as a statement of fact, because saying, who has the remote control, is looking to identify or blame someone. We say, that MP3 player is broken as a statement of fact, because saying, did you break that MP3 player, is looking to identify or blame someone. A statement of fact might be followed by the words, I'm puzzled, or I'm confused. Just like a statement of fact, these words don't target anyone. They may be pretense, you may have a good sense of what happened, but they're less likely to trigger Jack, and they might stimulate conversation. Another phrase that might follow a statement of fact is a question. Does anyone want to help out? So, if we expect him to be disappointed, then we use the can statements. We can, I can. If we expect him to be upset or agitated, like feeling guilty, then we use statements of fact. By the way, we can test whether what we're about to say is factual by checking whether it's an is-are statement. In plain words, what is. We're going to try to avoid using is not and are not. Now let's look at the moments when we need to prompt him. At those times, we use some pretense and lots of respect. Saying, Jack, let me know when you're ready to take a shower, is loads better than, Jack, for the 4th time, you need to take a shower. After our training for C, I have to say we should never be using phrases like need to. The pretense in let me know when you're ready is that we don't necessarily expect him to be actively prepping for a shower, right? He's probably lying in bed. But we need to presume the best about people. That's the pretense, assuming that he's doing the right thing and always doing his best. Assuming a person is doing the right thing, that's a great way to show respect. I mean, don't you love it when the boss just assumes that you're doing the right thing? That makes me feel like I'm doing my job right. A word here about pretense. Pretense is never used as trickery or manipulation. That's not how to form good, solid relationships with our guys. Pretense is used to help them save face when we find we have to redirect or bring up a sensitive subject, because losing face can bring on blow-ups. In any other regard, the individuals deserve and have a right to the truth. It will take a while for Jack to trust you. Build that trust on a foundation of honesty, and build a sense of safety by never shaming him. Even too many prompts to go shower actually boils down to shaming. He may say to you, I don't want to. I hate doing that. I don't like that stuff. Or not now. All of these responses are ones that Jack has been taught to verbalize, rather than to act out. He can otherwise self-injure or destroy property or become verbally abusive. So we love to hear him say, I don't want to. I hate doing that. I don't like that stuff. Not now. All of those are verbalizations which are great replacement behaviors and are vastly preferred to him turning to negative behavior. So that rule had 3 components, right? When we expect Jack to feel disappointed, upset, or overprompted. 1, 2, 3. I gave you recommendations on how to approach each situation. For disappointment, use we can and I can. For upset, use statements of fact, maybe followed by a help me or I'm confused, I'm puzzled. To head off prompt fatigue, to head off him feeling overprompted, we employ a little pretense and assume the best about his plans and about what's going on. There will be a quiz after this training, so bear in mind the 5 rules of engagement. The 4th rule is base the next thing you say on what you think his reaction will be: disappointed, upset, or feeling overprompted.